Hi YouTube, welcome to another edition of Horror Hands, and for this video I'm going to be going through 10 obscure horror movies that I think you should track down. So 10 horror films that I don't seem to hear much about and that I think are really good and really enjoyable. So let's get straight to it. First movie on the list is Altered from 2006. I have no idea why this movie isn't more well known. It's a really great movie and really well put together. This one sees these four friends kind of living in this rural area, and the four of them had a kind of an undisclosed alien abduction experience a while back, and they're all kind of haunted and affected by that. But they get wind that the UFOs are back and have landed in the woods out where they live, and they set out on this kind of vengeance fueled quest to track the aliens down and either attack them or kill them and that kind of thing. And they do come back into contact with the aliens, but it doesn't kind of go to plan. And the plight that these men go through as a result of getting themselves in too deep with these shenanigans is pretty crazy. But this movie it's scary, it's ominous, it's exciting at times, it's got some good practical effects moments in it, and it's just a really well put together little film. It's kind of got nods of Stephen King to me in terms of the camaraderie between the four men in this movie. Stephen King writes really good stuff with very character driven stories, and this kind of got the feel to that. But I've always liked Altered. I think it's a great film. I love how it pans out. But I don't hear anyone ever talk about this one. So first movie on the list is Altered. The next movie on the list is The Brainiac from 1962. One of the best Mexican horror movies I've ever seen. This one starts out with this guy being sort of sentenced to death by these monks in this really old-fashioned sort of cathedral. So very kind of gothic opening. And then he's reincarnated in modern times then, in the 1960s, as this like suave suit wearing guy. But upon a whim he can turn into like this cool looking monster and like either suck your brain out or drain you of blood, something like that. Really awesome stuff. This one flirts between quite elegant Mexican black and white gothic horror and then just downright sleazy creature feature at times, but it's interwoven wonderfully and makes for a really enjoyable film. I don't think a lot of people know about this one. I think this one's quite easy to look over, being like an old black and white Mexican movie, but I really like it for what it is, both for the Euro, the Mexican gothic elements and the silly creature feature moments. It's a great mix. So yeah, you want to see some really good overlooked Mexican horror, check out The Brainiac. Next up we have Destination Inner Space from 1966. Had to get a silly monster movie on the list. It's not a Horror Hands video without some kind of daft creature feature. And Destination Inner Space is a really fun one. It takes place in like this underwater experimental facility which is kind of attacked by this awesome looking rubber suit sea creature. And it's pretty bare bones. It's just it does what it does. It's a monster running around causing havoc in this research centre. It doesn't try and do anything else, and I don't need it to do anything else. It's one of those just enjoyable B-movie monster movies. But Destination Inner Space for me sits really well between sort of Creature from the Black Lagoon from the 50s and then things like Humanoids from the Deep, which would have come along in the 1980s. This is a great little companion piece that just kind of sits in between those two kind of flagship sea monster movies. So yeah, I definitely check this one out if you like your silly lowbrow underwater creature features. This is a really fun one to put on. Next up we have Dr. Giggles from 1992. What a fun film this one is. I always thought, when I used to see this cover when I was younger, I thought this was like a really serious, scary movie. But no, this one is kind of played for laughs on the whole. But Larry Drake stars as Dr. Giggles, a maniacal doctor that moves into this little rural town and starts terrorizing his victims. Think kind of like the dentist, but with a doctor. And this one, as I say, it's fun. It's kind of scary at times. If you're scared of the doctor, it'll probably get you a little bit. But on the whole, it's an enjoyable one. Very, very 90s feel to this one as well. It's got a great early 90s charm. One of the reasons I enjoy watching this one is it's really kind of feels like it has that very kind of carefree 90s way about it, which is just fantastic. And Larry Drake, very overlooked actor in my opinion. This may be his best performance, at least the one where he gets to maybe express himself the most and just act like a really crazy out there lunatic doctor. He really does go for it in this movie, and it's a joy to watch. So yeah, if you want some early 90s horror which you don't have to take entirely seriously, definitely get on Dr. Giggles. Next up we have Hard Rock Nightmare from 1988. This is a really cool one. A heavy metal band set up in like this cabin in the woods to record some music, and they are stalked and attacked by a werewolf. Or are they? I won't touch on that one anymore. But for me, the promise of horror and heavy metal is just always an absolute winner for me. I'll always watch a movie that has those two elements in it. And this one doesn't disappoint. It's a distinctly 80s outing. The music in this one is pretty cool. The look of the rock band is awesome. It's all on point for what you want from like a heavy metal horror movie. And does kind of turn a little bit meta, kind of changes it up a little bit, but I'm not going to get into that and give this one away. But this one's a very obscure movie. I never hear anyone talk about Hard Rock Nightmare, but if you want that awesome 80s fusion of horror and heavy metal, maybe give this one a go. Next up we have The Newly Deads, also from 1988. Originally released by Troma, can now get this one in this nifty Blu-ray from TerraVision. This is another really fun one. It's not particularly scary or gruesome or anything like that. This one sees this newly wedded couple who go to stay at this beautiful like lakeside hotel, but unfortunately it's cursed with these like ghost spirits and also a cross-dressing killer, if I remember right. It's a little bit bonkers, but one that definitely entertained me. It's one that I'm not surprised kind of Troma latched onto and released it. If you like kind of Troma level humour and silliness, you kind of know what you're getting into with the Newly Dead. But it's got enough in it to make it fun and to keep me entertained. A couple of like the ghost demon creatures at the end look pretty cool. And it's got a couple of decent kills here and there. And I have to say, I love this one for the location. The lakeside hotel makes for a really good spot, and if it wasn't so low budget, kind of quite decent cinematography. The only downside with the Newly Dead is even this Blu-ray, it's really bad quality. It looks like a VHS rip, so I don't know if that's the only sort of negative that's left now for this movie, but it does have a really poor picture quality. But if you want just a silly, lowbrow, Troma-esque kind of slasher horror movie, check out The Newly Deads. Next up is Shadow Builder from 1998. Again, another one why I don't know why this movie wasn't more popular. This one stars one of my favourite actors, Michael Rooker. He's like a tough city cop trying to defeat the forces of evil through these demons that possess this young boy. It kind of taps into a little bit of sort of like the stigmata, Bless the Child, religious horror movies of the late 90s. But there's a bit more kind of gritty and kind of street cop-esque with Michael Rooker doing his thing. It's got some good supernatural elements and a great kind of ending in a church with this demon creature and things like that. Really, really well put together film, and I enjoyed it a lot. It took me a while to get round to this one, and I think my expectations weren't too high just because of how low-key this movie is, but I really enjoyed it. It's almost like kind of whereas End of Days with Schwarzenegger was like a big budget kind of religious demonic film, this was a little bit like its smaller companion, but I probably prefer this movie a little bit more, if I'm being honest. So yeah, I really like it. If you want like a gritty, tough cop, demonic supernatural film, definitely check out Shadow Builder. It's a movie that certainly deserves more love. Next up, we have The Stylist from 2020. It is criminal that this movie doesn't get more recognition. This is such a great film. I'm almost reluctant to describe it this way, but it's kind of like Henry, Portrait of a Serial Killer, but with a woman as the main character and 1,000 times more stylish. It's a beautiful, really well done film. Follows this woman who is a hairdresser by day, but through kind of her like loneliness and isolation and just twisted outlook, becomes a serial killer by night, killing off people in a variety of gruesome fashions. But the look of this, the cinematography, it's got beautiful colours in it. It's elegant, really well told. Kind of reminded me a little bit of like an American style giallo, with the stylistic nature of this and just the way it pans out. Directed by Jill Gavargazan, I think is her name, and not to bring gender into it, I don't know if it's a woman thing, but she has such an eye for detail and colours and style that I don't kind of consider. But when you put it all in this movie, it's a glorious, beautiful, gory at times horror film, and it's such a shame this one came out. It got a nice release by Arrow, but didn't seem to do any kind of business, and I don't know why. I think this is a remarkably well done, well told, effective horror film. Next up is Superhost from 2021. My word, this is crazy. I was hooked with this movie. It's so good, and again, it's a Shudder movie. Like, it's a quite a popular mainstream film, but I don't hear nearly enough people talking about this one. But Superhost is these two like travel bloggers, and they go around like staying in like guest house and hotels and reviewing them. And they stay at this one particular guest house, beautiful place out in the woods in the countryside, and it's owned and hosted by this really quite nice young lady. She's lovely to them at the start, but as things go on, it gets a little bit odd, a little bit uncomfortable, and then gets downright crazy and insane as things are revealed and you kind of find out what's going on in this movie, which I won't give away in this video. But man, this is taut with tension and friction and just a real creeping sense of unease. And then when it really gets going with this character, man, she is it's a great performance, I'll say that. It is one of them where you kind of think I would have left after the first weird interaction, but I guess you have to overlook that. But I really love this one. I love the setup of it being through the lens of like the travel vlog people. I think it's kind of like found footage in a lot of ways, but just the look and the way it's done is quite different. And man, this one just had me hooked from start to finish. I've seen it a couple of times now, and I absolutely love it. So yeah, this is a top Shudder recommendation for me. Check out Superhost and just bask in the uncomfortableness of this one. And the last movie on the list is a really good ghost story, actually, that again I don't hear many people talk about, and it's We Are Still Here from 2015. This one is kind of a slow burn, a little bit of a kind of an emotional, tragic one. It's this couple that I think their son gets killed in a car accident, so they move out of the way into the sticks to try and grieve and recover from that. But the house they move into is haunted by these vengeful spirits. And yeah, this one's just a really good kind of stripped back, oldie-fashioned ghost story, kind of akin to sort of something from the 1970s. In fact, what I like about this movie is I feel like it's set in the 1970s, but it never tells you that. It just has an old look to it, and if you watch closely, like Nobody uses like mobile phones. There's no kind of modern technology, so it's kind of like low key set in the past. But I like that it's not sort of full on nostalgia baiting like this is the 1970s. So that's a really cool aspect of it. Barbara Crampton's in it, and she's fantastic as always. As is Larry Fessenden. He's in this too. But yeah, like I say, I just enjoy this for the kind of just restrained, well told, oldie-fashioned ghost story that this is. And again, more people should check this one out. So yeah, that is We Are Still Here. So there we go, guys. That is 10 obscure horror films that I recommend tracking down because I think they're really good. Let me know what you think of them. Let me know if you've seen any, and if you agree that these are really good films. I'd really love to know. So thank you very much for watching, and stay tuned for more videos.